Hi everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to set up your own worm farm starter kit. So I've been giving some of these away. Some of you bought these from me, so I thought the best thing to do was to actually just do a quick video and explain to you what you actually get and how to put everything together. So let's get into it. What you receive if you get one of my worm starter kits is a box like so, with some ventilation holes pre-drilled into the side. If we open this up, these are the things you'll find inside. You'll get a tub like this with 50 worms. These are African night crawlers, tropical worms. They prefer hotter, more temperate climates, which works well for us here in Dubai. You get a little bottle of some worm chow. This is pre-made worm food, which is really good for your worms, which I make myself. And you get a bag of bedding, which is peat moss, shredded cardboard, some peanut husks, coffee grounds, gypsum, eggshells, and a lot of love. And this has been maturing for about 4 weeks before it's used in the bins, and all those lovely microbes are in there. So you've bought your bin, you want to keep your kids busy, or you want to start breeding worms, or you just want to start composting some of your food scraps to get some lovely worm castings. This is how you start. So the first thing I want you to do is take your bedding, and we're just going to dump this straight in to the bottom of this bin. There we go. You can see here there's some lovely peanut husks that are breaking down, shredded cardboard, some leaves, and this is just full of great microbes and a whole ecology of good bacteria that's been breaking down this bedding for your worms. What do you want to do now? Now that we've got this in, you could technically just dump your worms in, which we are going to do like so. You just take your worms. This little tub already has some of the chow mixed in there. You can see your worms in there, and there's some bedding. If you were to receive this and you didn't have time to put it together immediately, you could leave your worms in here for a good few days without any issues. This is already pre-moistened. It's nice and damp for them. You can see there's no water really coming out. 1 drop, 2 drops. It holds together, but it breaks down. Yeah. So you just dump your worms on top there, and as you can see from the light, they just shoot straight down. So we just give them a couple of minutes to get acclimatized in this new bedding. Having some of the old bedding in with them from their original bin helps with all those microbes as well. They feel right at home. So now you've got your worms in your bin. What do you want to do? What are you going to use it for? Now, if you're going to feed your worms, what I recommend you do is you set up a feeding zone. And if you're going to feed them kitchen scraps, like some leaves or banana skins, or even a whole banana if you want, you can do that. If you're doing this with your kids, you can do an experiment to see how long it takes them to eat a banana. What I recommend you do is you create a channel, put your food in, bury it in the bedding, and then that way your worms can get to it straight away, and it stops any unwanted fruit flies or anything else from hovering around as well. So how do we do that? So the first thing we're going to do, so these guys have started coming down already. The first thing we're going to do is just create a little channel right here. Okay. And then we can lay down a couple of red Russian kale leaves, a couple of bits of frisee lettuce. These are just some soy mustard leaves. Yeah. And then this, what we can do is we'll just split it open. Just give them a little bit of access. And the worms will absolutely love this. Put it straight down. And then we're going to cover them with the bedding. There we go. Nicely covered. And there you have it. It's that simple. That's how you get it set up. What you can do if you wanted to is, if you don't want to feed them with fruits or vegetables, or you don't have any scraps at home, you can take this worm chow and just sprinkle a little bit on top. These guys are voracious eaters, the African night crawlers. They eat quite healthily. And a little bit goes a long way, so just a little bit of worm chow on top, and then you're good to go. What you want to do is you want to keep this bedding moist, so I recommend you keep your eye on it, make sure it's not too wet. You don't want any smelly, sticky stuff at the bottom. But it should be a nice, good moisture, just like I showed you before. You can spray it down once a week, once every few days, depending on how warm it is where you're keeping your bin. Is it inside? Is it on your balcony? But just, you know, check on them once every couple of days, make sure that they're good, make sure that the moisture level is good. And if you did want to keep some of that moisture in, you could put a piece of newspaper down, or a piece of paper like this. And this is just some packing paper that you get in Amazon boxes, and just right in your box like so. And what that does is it keeps the light out if you did not want to use the lid. If you want to use the lid to keep it nice and dark, that's no issues. You can still use that paper to act as a moisture barrier. Some people actually use old carrier bags and plastic bags, but I prefer not to use any plastic at all, and I use paper like this. And there you have it. So your worms are going to be absolutely fine in there. They'll get acclimatized, and within a couple of days they'll be good, and then they'll start multiplying. Hopefully within 4 to 6 weeks you'll start to see some worm cocoons in there, and you'll see your population grow every couple of months. And that's how you set up your worm farm. You get 3 separate things inside your bin, put them in, you don't have to give it much thought, and it's set up easy as 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you guys again. Thanks.